Well, I try to temper expectations. We had a lot of conversations last week. I said, go in low, man. Go in low. And it wasn't about the team necessarily. It was about Deshaun Watson. And I said, we need to build him back up. I needed to sometimes even treat him like a rookie quarterback. Well, he looked like a freaking rookie quarterback yesterday. He looked really bad. And I know the offensive line did not help the situation. I know there were just some throws that you go, what the hell is going on there? The video of him on the sideline working the shoulder, Joel Bitonio not wanting his help getting up, the Amari Cooper, just like, that's bad. You don't need me to tell you that. That was really bad. And a lot of our conversation here today is going to be about what we talked about going into that game. You know, I'd love to go full Drennan on you and for 2 hours me scream about how angry I am on how bad the Browns played. You don't need me to do that. You're probably just as angry. We all saw what happened yesterday. And the worst part is that's the first game of the season. We got 16 more to go. And I got tweets that the Browns are leaving Deshaun Watson in that game so he can get hurt so they don't have to play him anymore. It's going to be a long season, man. It's going to be a long season. And I can't say that was unexpected for me. From Watson, not the team. Not the team, okay? Defense had moments. Offensive line was horrendous. Micah Parsons was feasting yesterday. But when it comes to Deshaun Watson, that is kind of how I thought it might go. For everybody that thought he was just going to come out and regain the form and be the guy that he was, I understand that is our dream. I understand that that's what we all want. But he looked like a quarterback that has not played meaningful football for 3 years, didn't play in the preseason, is coming off of an injury, and he looked like crap. He looked like crap. What did I say on Friday? All I wanted was one throw at some point that I go, there it is. I didn't even get that yesterday. From Deshaun Watson. The concern level is through the roof. Rightly so. But my only thing to say is, yeah, that's where we're at. This was never going to be easy on the project that you took on to fix Deshaun Watson. There was never going to be I guess there could have been instant gratification of him throwing it for 400 yards or whatever. You didn't get that. And he kind of looked like how I expected him to. It's not what I wanted to have happen, but it's what we should have known when it came to Watson's play yesterday. So many things we got to break down from that game yesterday. Where it goes, what do we mean? We got injuries now affecting this team. You're probably going to be without David Njoku for a little while. Ankle injury there. The offensive line, Watson, around the league, good, the bad, and the ugly. The grid. We'll get back to the bracket this week. We got time up, the morning update. We got it all right here on Big Play. Welcome to the show, everybody. I am Matt Fontana. He is Ryan Tyler. I'd say good morning, but I think for a lot of Browns fans, it's not. Coffee doesn't quite taste as good here this morning as we get rolling. Quick reminder, though, for our giveaway today for the grid, we aced it on the 4 days last week. So we have a Big Play prize package that's up for grabs. Go hit retweet and drop a follow at Matt Fontana Show. We'll pick our winner at the end of that, and then we begin a brand new week on the grid this week, Ryan, for our big prize. This week's a big prize if we can get all 5 going. And we had a game played, so all the guys that moved to new teams are not eligible for the grid. I'm really excited for that. So we'll get to that a little bit later in the show. We'll go around the league. We got our picks from this weekend. We'll get to the good, the bad, and the ugly from the Browns game. We'll talk a little guard sprinkling in. They got the one. That's all I asked them. So many of the things that we talked about getting ready for this game is how it played out yesterday for the Cleveland Browns. And I start with Deshaun Watson's pocket presence. I was hammering that home. Why I didn't like him playing in the preseason. was because he never faced live pass rush going all the way back to last season. And people told me it wasn't a big deal. Don't worry about it. You don't want him out there getting hurt and all that kind of stuff. Okay. Well, Matt, the offensive line was trash. Nobody gave him any time yesterday. Ryan, there were several plays from Deshaun Watson. I watched him staring at Micah Parsons instead of looking down the field to make a play. The one sack, he had 4 seconds in the pocket. And then eventually, yes, I needed him to get out of there. There was a coverage sack, and he ended up taking one anyway. So many of the things, so many of the issues that we knew we had with Deshaun Watson that the Browns failed to address reared their ugly head yesterday, and it led to an ass whooping. You had nothing. You had no semblance of offense in that game. What'd you have in the first half? 1 first down? That was it. You got a garbage touchdown from Jerome Ford. You had the one drive in the third quarter where you thought maybe we could turn this game around for a second here. And then it was just gone. And then it was over from there. The interception going through Elijah Moore's hands, that's on Elijah Moore. I know it wasn't a perfect pass by any stretch of the imagination. You got to catch that football, okay? Outside of that, I, throughout that whole game, Ryan, didn't even have a throw that I sat there and I go, man, that feels like Deshaun Watson. At least on the positive side. There's plenty of people go, no, that's your Deshaun Watson right there. And it comes back to he's not going anywhere. I got tweets from people yesterday saying they left him in that game so they hope he gets hurt and they don't have to play him anymore. Like, that's where we're at. Like, it's going to be a long season, man. And they're going to play Deshaun Watson until they can't anymore. That was not so. He's starting against Jacksonville this weekend. He is starting for the foreseeable future. And I tried to keep this on the rails yesterday, too, with people. Why was he out there late in that game? And I can't tell you how many people, Matt, he needs reps. Not those reps. Those are meaningless, useless, cover the kid's ears, bullshit reps. The game was over. And I'm a big Kevin Stefanski fan. What a horrible mistake on his part. That was coaching malpractice right there. And he didn't get hurt, thank God. Those reps meant nothing. If anything, all they're going to do is further bad habits. Well, Matt, you're talking about him facing the pass rush. There was nothing to be gained. Absolutely nothing. Well, man, it's every other starter was out there, and the statement to the rest of the team, F that. You know where we were at. That game was over. Get him out of that game. They're grasping at straws at this point. And I do want to bring it back from this, because I know there's a lot of people angry this morning. I'm not like I sound like I'm. Like, it was one game. I get it was a bad start. We got smoked by the Chiefs a couple of years ago and then went on a 3-game win streak and all that. Man, is this game this weekend against Jacksonville vitally important. But that game, when it comes back to boiling it down to Deshaun Watson, which is always what we were going to do, you couldn't be that surprised. There is no way that anyone out there can really be that surprised on how Deshaun Watson played. And I get that the clicks and the views today are going to be people saying that he doesn't deserve to be on an NFL field, and oh my God, this contract, and all that other kind of stuff. I've got no time for that anymore. I am still solely focused on getting Deshaun Watson back to a serviceable level. And yesterday was a bump in the road that I kind of expected. I said Dallas was going to win that game. Ryan, you said Dallas was going to win that game. It pained us to say that, but it played out. Again, it was worse than I thought it was going to be, but it went kind of how I expected. So for me now, for Deshaun Watson, I'm almost ready to turn the page and say, what do we have to do to get him back? And this isn't because I'm some Deshaun Watson fan. It's because I don't have another choice. I know people are just joking around kind of half-heartedly on Twitter when they go, put Jameis Winston in there.
Some people aren't joking.
I know they're not. But the point is that is futile. There's a waste of time. The only way that this season goes successful is for Deshaun Watson to play well. Stop bringing up Joe Flacco. For the love of God, stop bringing up Baker Mayfield. It's over. It's done. And I know what he did yesterday. We all know what he did yesterday. For the love of God, stop. The only thing that you can do is rebuild Deshaun Watson. And with how he played yesterday, my biggest fear is I've got nothing tangible to grab onto. He had the one nice throw to Jerry Jeudy for the touchdown. That was a good throw. That out of bounds one that CeeDee Lamb caught, that wasn't even close. And the other thing I really watched in the game intently, Watson was rocketing those passes, throwing so hard. Like he thought that throwing it harder was going to fix something, or that throwing through a wall, getting his anger out. I don't know, man. I don't know what it was. But that game yesterday, my concern level is not as high as some people, because, again, I kind of thought it was going to be that way. I would have liked a little bit more to grab onto. I don't have it, but I sit here today and I'm truly almost to the point of we're on to Jacksonville. And this is going to be a slow brew pain. This is going to be painful and it's going to suck. But you have got to rebuild Deshaun Watson. And we sent the clip out last week when I discussed the mental side of things for Deshaun Watson. And I know he got horrible news with his father passing away, and then a friend and a former teammate passed away on Saturday. And I'm not making excuses for it, because Watson wasn't going to make excuses for it either. But I'm at that point. This was going to be a painful, slow rebuilding of not just Watson's physical side, but his mental side. And the other problem with that game yesterday, Ryan, is he is broken. He is broken. And now I see that impacting the rest of the team. I see an offense that is broken, that does not believe. I see Amari Cooper, the clip we all saw. The play comes in and Cooper just rolls his eyes and stands there. We all see the clip of Joel Bitonio laying there. Watson goes to help him up and he slaps his hand away. They are broken because their quarterback is broken. If you want to sit there and wallow in the pain and the pity and say that this is just us, that's fine. I'm not going to yell at you for that, because I get why you're pissed off this morning. But we got to also talk about, is this even is this still a rebuildable project? We have now started the rebuild project with Deshaun Watson. And I'm not abandoning it yet, because I've got no choice but to keep going. Because the Browns have no choice but to keep going. I'll talk about the offseason when we get there. I'll talk about his contract and his cap hit next year when we get there. We've got no choice but to soldier on here. And this isn't me trying to rally up support for the Browns or be some homer for the Browns. They got their asses kicked. They sucked yesterday for the most part. Few individual efforts were fine. Just understand, it's got to be Deshaun Watson. As bad as that was, and as horrible as it was, now this is back on Kevin Stefanski, who did not have a good game. I don't even mind that third down play call run to Jerome Ford. I kind of like that call. The fourth down play, I don't know what the hell he was doing. And grasping Ford on 4th and 6 and 4th and 7, I defend him for going for it. Some of that was unexcusable. Penalties, not lining up right, your offensive line is in shambles, all that, whatever. You now still have to put this back on an offensive-minded coach and Ken Dorsey to fix this. I thought they were supposed to be doing all this for Deshaun Watson. It looked like he showed up on Friday. That offense looked like Deshaun Watson showed up on Friday. Not that they had been planning this all offseason about how they were going to help Deshaun Watson. Now, and Emmett Golden gave me this line years ago, and this is one of my favorite lines that he ever gave me. You have to be an active participant in your own rescue. You got Deshaun Watson out there. You could scheme this up and try to do everything. He's got to play his part too. And now, again, he is up against this massive mental hurdle that I'm going to need him to overcome and overcome it quick. Because as far as the physical part of it goes, it all comes back to what he's seeing on the field. And I think he was scared of the pass rush. And I saw him dancing, and I saw him trying to run. He had a couple nice runs here and there. He is broken mentally. And that game reflected that yesterday. What we do from here, what the Browns do from here to fix that up, I don't know. But you better start praying to whatever God you pray to, because they need him to flip this switch. And I think, again, the other problem, there was not anything for Deshaun Watson to actually even feel good about yesterday. There wasn't some deep pass that he goes, yeah, man, that felt like I was back. Again, that one drive was nice. There were some throws, but there was nothing that he can come out that they could just put on a loop in film today and say, this is more of what we're talking about. This is what we need you to do. And also, let's call it for what it is. An offense that you brought in a new coordinator. Ryan, they looked like a brand new offense that didn't know what the hell they were doing. They didn't look like they knew that they were set in what they want to do. You want to bitch about preseason? I'm not here to really debate that anymore. I don't really care. They looked like a brand new team. They looked like a rookie quarterback, which is how I'm treating Deshaun Watson at this point, and an offense that's brand new. And they struggled. That's how you get your asses kicked. And that's what happened yesterday.
I mean, yeah, it was extremely disappointing.
Good morning, Ryan. Hi, Ryan. I need to get that a little 17-minute monologue. Good morning, Ryan. How are you?
I've had better days.
We've had better months.
As a lot of us have. Yeah. But it was extremely disappointing. I mean, I understand that Deshaun Watson, we talked about, didn't play in the preseason at all, and that was going to come with what people love in this town calling rust, right? But the way that Deshaun Watson was in the pocket yesterday was way worse than I ever imagined, right?
Yeah.
I mean, you talk about him treating him almost as a rookie. Well, he looked like a player that stepped inside the white lines of the National Football League for the first time ever. He looked like a kid lost at the mall trying to run around and find his mom. When your offensive line is already bruised up and they're not playing well, you're doing them no favors by bailing out when they actually give you protections. And the amount of players that he missed that I saw wide open across the field.
It was the Cooper one.
It was alarming.
Mm-hmm.
It was alarming. Yep. And I understand on some plays he was able to pick up the first with his feet. But Matt, that's one, that's not sustainable. Two, I quite frankly don't understand it. And you talk about it has to be mental at that point.
Yes.
And you talk about the deep throws where he was just launching it. To me, that's one, he's terrified of getting sacked, and two, he's terrified of turning the ball over and underthrowing it.
Well, and I'll tell you that real quick. Kevin Stefanski hates turnovers more than anything. Like, you hear coaches speak and stuff like that. There's nothing in this world that pisses off Kevin Stefanski more than turnovers. So you're right. If you're going to play with that fear, then it's twofold. Because you're sitting there saying, I don't want to get hit, and I don't want to turn this football over. I'm going to throw it 10 yards out of bounds. Avoid the hit and avoid the turnover. You're right. That's not sustainable. And it comes back to, what is one of the things that you hear about veteran quarterbacks and why Patrick Mahomes is freaking Patrick Mahomes? Ryan, what do they say? The game slowed down for them, right? You will hear veteran quarterbacks, and we'll talk about Brady on the broadcast yesterday too, but he was talking sometimes when the game slows down for you. The issue is for Deshaun Watson, that game yesterday seemed like it was going 1,000 miles an hour for him, like a rookie. He couldn't process what was going on. He was afraid of getting hit. They're trying to run this play and do this. He didn't have time to even process what was going on. You have got to get him back to that place of understanding, what is the defense trying to do to me right here? There was nothing that I saw that Watson picked them apart or knew what they were doing. And it's in part to talk about this now was because Micah Parsons was in his face every other time he dropped back. And I know this morning there's a low light clip that's going around. It's just all these just crap throws from Watson. And Lima had a great tweet about it this morning, and he goes, watch that and just stare at Micah Parsons. Every freaking time Micah Parsons is either almost there or as soon as Watson's letting it go, he's giving him a shove. He was in his bag yesterday. He was in Watson's head the whole day. Now that comes back to, what are we going to do on the offensive line? Why did Conklin not play? I have none of us have that reason. None of us have that. Like, and you hope, but God, I hope one of those guys comes back for Sunday. It was that bad that I'm almost looking at Andrew Berry and going, who's on the street right now? And that's with two guys making $12 and $14 million. And I'm ready to jettison both of them. Now, again, I want to give an opportunity for Conklin to get back out there or Wills to get back out there. It was that bad that you have no choice but to force one of those guys to play. And then what? Dwan Jones got hurt too. There you go. For everybody telling me, oh, man, you're going to need multiple tackles this year. Couldn't even make it to the first game without him getting hurt. That's not Dwan's fault either. He just got hurt. I don't know what to tell you. But that line was so bad that you can't avoid that. That's not something you can overcome and just, that one. What were we talking about last week? Oh, we'll just avoid the left tackle situation. Yeah, well, when Dwan Jones went out, you were in a lot of trouble. They were all over him yesterday. And part of that was Watson, whether he's holding on to the ball too long, the play calls are trying to get it out quick. You can't do much. I understand that. It's not an excuse, it's a fact. You can't do anything when you've got a premier pass rusher over there feasting on your third string left tackle. That's what happened on Sunday. And again, which led to other problems. The argument that a lot of people will have is this. Deshaun Watson should be good enough to overcome that, right? Run out, make the play, but he's not there anymore. If one thing was proven from that game yesterday that I want to send out to Browns fans today, it's this. The Deshaun Watson you thought of is gone, and he might not ever come back. And the sooner that some people get that through their head, the better off we'll be. This could go really bad with him. And we'll go down as the worst contract, and he never even got us to a playoff game and all that. That's for the future. We'll figure that out. But what you got to start with after that game right now is this. The Deshaun Watson you thought you had isn't coming back. So the best option you have is to build him back up to a different version of himself. And that's going to be a long, painful process that has just begun. We all had the expectations. You want to make the playoffs? Go look at the over-under again. What was it, 8.5? Vegas was telling you what they thought of the Cleveland Browns. And we're fans, so I'll never not root for this team. I'll always want them to make the playoffs and to win every game that they can. But they told you they thought about the process that Deshaun Watson's just begun.
I've been deemed by Twitter a Watson apologist, so I guess I'll roll with that. And I have to say, the offensive play calling yesterday.
Is that a new segment? Is that a new segment on this show where you somehow turn into the Uber Watson apologist and we spend 10 minutes on the show just making excuses for him?
If we need it, I'll be the one that has to sacrifice.
Maybe that's a new segment. Can you get a hat?
I'll be the most hated person in Cleveland.
Put the big play hat on.
I'll be the biggest hater in Cleveland, or the most hated person in Cleveland.
Maybe that's what we need.
But somebody has to bear the burden, and I'm more than willing to do it. But that was...
Here's our first installment of the Watson apologist. This is not Ryan Tyler. This is Watson apologist over there. We need something, Ryan, please.
He needs to put me on his payroll. That's all I'm saying. But
you got a lot of people on that.
The offensive play calling yesterday, I think that was one of, if not the worst games I've seen called by Kevin Stefanski.
Sure.
That 4th down and 6, why he went for that, I cannot come up with an answer.
Yeah.
There was so much time left in that game, and the defense to that point was playing well. They were. I think that was the best defensive performance.
At that point. You're right.
I think that was the best defensive performance I've seen by a team that gave up 33 points.
Sure.
I really do think that.
Again, short fields, kickoff return, punt return, touchdown, not necessarily on the defense. Sure.
The flip from that Watson drive where you were getting short out routes and Deshaun was being decisive, and that's when they scored the touchdown. He had the nice ball to Judy. The defense gets a stop right after that. You have a chance to get the momentum back, and the play calling was horrible.
Yeah.
They were those long routes that you were seeing Deshaun Watson overthrow it by 20 yards. Like Parsons was in his face, like you said. The flip that I don't know what happened from the play calling of like getting Deshaun Watson comfortable, these short routes, just completely flipped. It made no sense to me. That offensive play calling that whole game was abysmal.
Well, if I really wanted to get conspiracy theory on this and talk about that could have been Kevin Stefanski. That's him putting him out there saying, this is what we're going to do. You better sink or swim, man. You better sink or swim. We're talking about the rebuilding of Deshaun Watson, right? Where you would like the short stuff and all that other kind of stuff. This could be the other thing. This is the NFL. You're $230 million paid. This is what we're going to do. And you better get your ass out there and do it. That's what that could have been. I don't want to buy into that. I truthfully don't. That was a Deshaun Watson exposure game. We're going to... this is dangerous to say this stuff, man. I own every freaking word I say on this show, and I've owned every word of it that I've ever said doing this job. Was that a game of exposing Deshaun Watson for the fraud that he is? I don't know. I don't want to believe that, and I don't believe that helps Kevin Stefanski's job in any way. But like that game yesterday, as people already want fire Stefanski, just got an extension. He's two-time coach there. People are freaking out. You're right. The play calling was abysmal. But it's two sides of the coin. Is it the play calling was bad or Watson was bad? Were they going to put him out here and said, this is what we are doing? And to cut it with a sharp knife to say is if you can't do this, then we will go find somebody that can. It's a big boy league. If this is what Kevin Stefanski wants to run, he's not going to handle Deshaun Watson with kid gloves anymore. I'm the opposite. See, I'm saying, oh, man, got to build him back up, treat him like a rookie. Maybe Kevin Stefanski, this is just us talking, maybe Kevin Stefanski says, F that. I'm putting him out there, and I'm calling the plays that I want to call, and he had better make the play. He better do it. And the problem is it's literally throwing him in the deep end, probably throwing a cement bag on his back, too, and saying, sink or swim, man, figure it out. Figure it out. We have got no time to ease our way into this. It's time for us to go. And on top of that, on the other side, because there are things I want to talk about the defense and all that other kind of stuff. We'll get to good, bad, and the ugly coming up here in a minute. Now with where you sit, them losing that game is not all that shocking to me. It's really not. But now that puts this onus on this stretch of games coming up. When the schedule came out and everybody was circling this game and doing that, what did we say? You got a tough game against Dallas on the season opener. Okay, that's done. Now you're entering this stretch where you go, Jacksonville had Miami on the ropes, choked it away. Benefactors of another side of that in the past. Then, here, I'm going to make sure I get the schedule right here coming up. Okay, Jacksonville, who again had Miami. The Giants, okay, they suck. Raiders, Commanders. Those are the three games that you have coming up. You have no choice but to go 3-0 now. Right? As we all sat there and had that schedule out, that loss yesterday puts that onus back on these three games. You got a week to turn this around. You have got a week to fix this and get back out there. Because if you want to go where you think you want to go, and you got a lot of help this weekend. How the hell did the Bengals screw that up? Ravens, we know. Steelers were the only one in the division to get a win. You got helped this weekend. And frankly, you had a lot of other games, too, when you start talking about playoff teams, right? What do we got yesterday? Colts? No. Jags? No. Bengals lost. What's the other game that I was looking at? Oh, well, tonight, be big 49ers fans. Get the Jets the hell out of here. But so I'm just saying, you had some help. But you got to go now.
I mean, let's cut it for what it is. Yesterday was that team to me was a 5-win team, a 6-win team.
Okay, that's
I'm not panicking.
That's fine.
And I understand the Cowboys defense is good, but that offense, that's a 5-win team. That is a one-trick pony, and your defense is going to carry you to a couple wins against these poverty teams. But that offense yesterday, there was no movement. You are not winning games in the National Football League when you can't move the chains maybe 3 times more.
What, especially when you cannot attack what they're trying to do to you. That's the problem. Was that Mike Zimmer they were off of what you hear this with defenses all the time, and same thing with offense too. You want to be the one to dictate things. You want to be the one that forces the other side of the football to change for you. And all we saw yesterday was Mike Zimmer changing what the Browns were trying to do. And maybe that's it. Maybe that's why the offense was so bad, is they were just slamming the panic button. And maybe they were saying, we're going to stop doing what we're doing here because nothing's working. We're hitting the panic button. You did nothing to change what Dallas was trying to do to you yesterday. Nothing. And there's other things I want to talk about, but let's do this real quick, too. It was just one game, okay? I know this sucks, but I'm also not going to be one. We need to get this out right now. But I'm also not going to be one to sit here and say the season is lost. That game sucked. You have a lot of things you got to fix. It was one game. You got a long season to go. And I will be damned if I'm going to pack it in now. And if some of you out there want to do that, that's fine. I cannot be there. And I refuse to be there right now. I watched every minute of that game like every one of you out there did too. And there's not much to take away. But if I'm not packing it in. I'm just not. Okay? You're in this spot. I'm going to trust these people to pull ourselves up. And you got Jacksonville on Sunday. And you're on the road. It's going to be a hard game. But I'm not packing it in. There's too much freaking football left to sit here and wallow on this. Yes, there's a lot we can talk about. There's a lot they got to fix, but I ain't done yet. Okay? It went the way I thought it was going to go as far as the game went and as far as what Deshaun Watson looked like. The other thing, there's no way that the Browns and specifically Kevin Stefanski could have sat there and really thought that they were going to get a vintage Deshaun Watson performance. You kind of got what was expected. So now what do you do with that information? What do you do with the game that you got that you probably thought you were going to get? Okay? Don't anybody out there try to tell me you thought Deshaun Watson was going to go out there and just ball out. Come on. I know you had the hope for it, and that's fine. But nobody can really sit here today and say that they were all that angry about how Deshaun Watson played because that is what we thought he was going to be.
Yeah, there's a laundry list of items that the Browns need to clean up. But I do have reason to believe and sit here today that possibly could be and realistically should be the worst game the Browns play all
I hope
season.
so.
As bad as Deshaun Watson is, there was an abundance of items that you can throw on there. I mentioned the play calling. The receivers dropping those passes, that will kill you need to help your struggling quarterback out a little bit. And don't call me a Watson apologist because I'm saying Watson played horrible.
That segment's over. That segment's coming on Monday.
With that. And the undisciplined, the amount of penalties, the amount when you're starting drives 15, 10 yards back from where it originally should be, you are just putting your quarterback in a horrible position.
At one point of the game in the first half, Ryan, didn't it seem like they were running plays 3-1? They had like 3 times the amount of plays. Our defense seemed gassed at times.
Yeah, well, when your defense has to be on the field every second of the game.
Because your offense is going 3 and out every friggin' time. Yeah. No, 100%. And it was the perfect storm of crap. And you're right. The positive is you hope that was the worst game that we'll play all year. And Dallas, let's not sniff on that. They're still a really good football team. And I was trying to downplay them as much as I could. The issue is what? Dak Prescott wasn't even the one that lit you up yesterday. You actually kept CeeDee Lamb in check. It was somehow, apparently, Ezekiel Elliott found 2015 Ezekiel. It wasn't even all that good. You had some fluky plays that went your way or talking about Dallas and all that kind of stuff. I don't even think they played all that good of a game.
Right now, Deshaun Watson is 100% broken.
Yes.
And the rest of the league knows that.
Yeah.
And they're going to press on that injury, like metaphoric injury that the Browns have, the bruise,
sitting there in the sidelines
until it starts bleeding. And I just pray that Deshaun Watson has a little bit left that he can pull out of the fire. And what I hope the most is I'm not in that locker room. None of us are.
Yeah.
And if they haven't already lost it, I hope the rest of the locker room has a little bit of faith still in Deshaun Watson, because if they lose that, this season is going to go down to the dumpster real quick.
That's another underlying issue of reading between the lines and watching body language. And I saw a defense that was making plays and flying around. You know, I saw Denzel hit the guitar, man. I saw MJ make a play. I saw the D-line jumping around. They seem okay from a mental side. On the offensive side, I don't get good body language from them. I don't like what I see from what that offense is because they look like crap. And they know that. And it's going back to you need Deshaun Watson to play better. It's that simple. All right, there were people that said there was nothing positive to take out of that game. Not true. Because I'm going to tell you the good, the bad, and the ugly. This is how it goes. We always do it on Mondays after every single game. We do the good, the bad, and the ugly. We start with the good, Ryan. Myles Garrett looked like Myles Garrett. Now, the problem is you didn't, a strip sack or some sort of defensive play. Micah Parsons dominated. Myles Garrett had a really solid game. I know the one sack got taken away because he was offsides, all that kind of stuff. Myles Garrett is still elite, and that was good from yesterday. Let me start with that on the defense. He was good. Again, Micah Parsons was the better pass rusher yesterday, but I start with a positive for the Browns that Myles Garrett looked like Myles Garrett yesterday.
Yeah, I retweeted from, I forget who, so sorry not giving him credit, but Myles Garrett, I believe it was 0.61 seconds off the line of the scrimmage. That was the most week one highest in the NFL. Myles is still Myles. He's going to be Myles. And as brutal as yesterday seemed, like I said, I think that was the best defensive performance I've seen in my life from a team that gave up 33 points.
Sure. Next up on the good, Jalen Darden. Hey, man. Those are some good punt returns.
Yes, I'm glad you brought this up,
Those
Matt.
were some good returns.
I'm glad you brought that up.
The kickoff thing, and especially now that we got a good dose of college football to watch, this NFL kickoff rule is horrible. It sucks. Don't nobody like it. But on the kickoff returns, I saw a little something with Jalen Darden. And I'm not talking about eventually maybe breaking one, which would be nice. Dude, you're picking up 10, 15 yards. You're flipping the field a little bit. I thought Jalen Darden had a good return game there.
I thought he was really well. I'm glad you brought this up. I was going to add it if you didn't. Yeah. I thought he did amazing. He set us up field position well quite a few times. He looked good. He looked like he was electric. He's finding the holes. That's good. And then you give up that punt return. Obviously, that's not good. But like I said, that's another salt to the wound, right? Everybody in this game has a share of the blame.
Yeah, absolutely. Next up for the good, again, good, bad, and the ugly from the Browns game. I thought the corners had some plays. Greg Newsome, he got a little tug there on CeeDee Lamb on that 1 3rd down, but that's all right. Newsome had breakups. Denzel should have probably 2 picks. There should have been 5 interceptions in that first quarter, but whatever. Ward got his hand on some footballs. Newsome made some plays. MJ showed up, specifically those 3 on the cornerbacks, and not at all times. I know the broken play, communication gaffe. I mean, really, you went all out on the blitz. You were hoping the blitz was going to get there. Juan Thornhill thought that MJ was going to be back. He wasn't. Broken play, fine. Ryan, I thought the corners had a solid game. I thought they really did.
I think they did as well. Denzel Ward remains a field eraser. Greg Newsome had a great game. MJ Emerson played all right. And again, the only real mess up was that secondary mess up. My Juan Thornhill agenda is pushed a little bit further.
That happens.
I don't know if it was a busted coverage. I don't know if he just completely underplayed it.
No, but you saw him look right at MJ, and he started pointing like, dude, you were supposed to take that guy. Because the other thing I watched that play, there was a guy going up the seam. And that is, you see the play where you see the second, I should say, that Juan Thornhill kind of turned this way because the guy going over the middle caught his eye. Yeah. And then was that Brandon Cooks?
Yes.
That just ran right past him. So it's like, and again, we don't know the play call, and I'm sure Jim Schwartz is going to figure that out. But like, you saw him look right at MJ to point, and it's like, okay, I know that probably the play call was for MJ to drop back. But when you see that guy come across your face, you got to take him, and just Juan turned and he saw the guy at the middle. It is what it is.
Got busted, but at the end of the day, I mean, the pass rush was there. Dak made a hell of a throw. He threw it before he even broke Juan Thornhill. So
quarterback. That's a $231 million guaranteed quarterback. We'll get to that around the league coming up in a little bit. Final thing for the good. Hey, man. Field looked nice.
Hey, Dustin Hopkins
Didn't
again.
The field looked nice.
I'll say it did look nice. Dustin
Hopkins
nice. Again.
I like the field.
Dustin Hopkins, again, so far is reliable.
Yeah.
And Corey Bjork remains a field flipper.
Dude, bad news, though. Hewlett went in for an x-ray. What's up with Charlie Hewlett? Whatever. I thought the field looked nice. The helmets look nice. The gloss on the helmets. My brother texted. He goes, only real Browns fan noticed the gloss on the helmets. Face masks look good. Uniform combo was working. That's it for the good. The bad, which will probably be taking up a little bit more of our time here. Deshaun Watson, we don't need to hammer this home. We've done it for 40 minutes. We know Deshaun Watson was bad. It is what it is. Number 2 on the bad. Ryan, what is one of the biggest marks of a bad football team?
I would say you're not disciplined.
Which would mean you commit
a lot of
penalties. What the man? I mean, game 1, I guess. And it's not even like these were fluky, the illegal formation, the offensive tackles off the line. You had guys running around like you didn't know where they were lining up. The penalties, they're inexcusable. The mental penalties are the ones that drive a coach up. But listen, you commit holding, it's in the the play. It's in the middle of the play. It's the pre-snap bullshit that we can't have anymore. And Defensively, I actually thought the refs let them play a little bit on defense. There was physicality with some of those receivers. But you just cannot have those penalties. When you're trying to play that type of game, when you're down against an opponent, you're playing like ass, you cannot commit those penalties. You just can't do it. That was definitely in the bad. I mentioned it too, the offensive tackles getting worked. That was borderline ugly. Borderline ugly. But the tackles just getting dominated the way that they did. And the fact that you had no help, you couldn't even chip over there, you didn't have tight ends. You only had 2 tight ends in that game, right? Am I missing that? What were you going to do? The personnel usage was also really weird yesterday. But your offensive tackles were bad. I don't know what to tell you. You got to fix that. You hope that Conklin or Wills can come back for this week. You have no choice but to have those guys come back. The David Njoku injury is under the bad, too. He's in a boot. The dreaded high ankle sprain's already been discussed, and you just hope that he only misses a couple. We're at that point where it seems like, Ryan, you only hope that he misses a couple of games, if that. And I want to put the cart before the horse here. It's just funny because we're doing bad in the ugly. Who knows with David Njoku, but it sounds like he's going to miss some time. At a position that, again, you only had him, and now he's going to be down. You could factor in the MJ, but he said he's fine. Some of the other injuries, but that is not good about the David Njoku injury for the least.
Yeah, unfortunately, I mean, the David Njoku injury should be something that's on the forefront of my mind, or one of the biggest takeaways from that game. But the reality is there was so many just utterly mistakes that the Browns made yesterday that's honestly right now in the back of my mind.
Yeah.
And list of concerns, which is very unfortunate.
Punt return touchdown. Again, we talked about the special teams being positive. There's some stat out there, and I'd have to pull it up. Like, it's near, I think, 80% that if you give up some sort of return for a touchdown, you lose that game. You know, something like again, or it might be, you know, and it might be flipped. Like, if you get a return touchdown in some form or fashion, like, it boosts your chance to win. It's interceptions, punt returns. Nobody's kicking off anymore. No, there's no kickoff return touchdowns anymore and things like that. You give up that punt return touchdown. I'd like to get on Bubba Ventrone. Again, another point where it just kind of, I think, flipped that momentum, you know, for this team a little bit in that third quarter, and they're trying to fight. What could that game have been without it? I don't know. And then the final bad for me was the turnovers. Not necessarily your fault on the one. You got to catch that, Elijah Moore. It's not necessarily on Deshaun Watson. But again, penalties, turnovers, and you gave up a special teams touchdown. Just list me those 3 things, and I tell you probably lost that game. On top of your offensive line not playing well, Deshaun Watson not playing well. You list those 3 things. You tell me you lost the turnover battle, you committed more penalties, and you gave a special teams touchdown up. I don't think you're winning many football games. Nope. So that's it for the bad. For the ugly, that 4th down play, man.
That's just absolutely inexcusable.
You
from
can't
a
have
quarterback.
that. You just can't.
I can accept. I can take some mental mistakes. Those are even worse than physical mistakes, in my opinion. For a guy that is coming to his 8th, 9th year in the league, to take that sack, just throw the damn ball, Deshaun.
And I'm not, again, going forward on 4th down, I questioned it. And you know me, I argue with people all the time. Kevin Stefanski's going to go for it. It's the new age of football. They're analytically driven. And usually I will defend it. And usually I say it's the right call. I don't even complain about the 3rd down call. I actually really liked that call of Jerome Ford going up the middle there. I know people want to jump on and bitch and moan, whatever, fine. I don't have much to argue with you on it. The 4th down play was just, again, you're going to put Deshaun Watson in these situations because you're going to ask him to make those type of plays. You hope that we get back to a place that he does make those plays, but you just got to remember that we're not there yet, and maybe this is going to have to be the flip for Kevin Stefanski, that you're going to ask other players other than Deshaun Watson to make big plays. How are you going to do that? How are you going to do that, to ask guys to pick up 4th downs when you don't trust your quarterback to do it? And then on the one, that bubble screen. On the other 4th down they ran, and I just go, that tells you he has no confidence in dropping back with Deshaun Watson right now. And if you want to say it was the offensive line, you want to say maybe it's more Watson, that was all, like, just, that was the other one. Not even the sack one. When they ran that freaking 4th down bubble screen, what are you doing? What's going on? This comes back to my other ugly, the offense. It was just all bad. And a combo of all the issues that we've been talking about. And the final ugly for me on the good, the bad, and the ugly, 425 starts suck ass. Like, nobody, To wait around for that game, and maybe I'd be feeling different if we had won. But Ryan, that game at 425 was not good.
See, I'm in the minority on this.
Loved it?
I enjoy 425.
I don't like it at all.
I like having a full slate of football that I get to watch and really kind of, because I'm obviously watching the Browns game with a lot more intent than I'm watching these other games. So I almost enjoy a 425.
I just think it messes up everything that you're trying to do. Like, again, what is it going to come back to for me? The kids and running around all that. It's the 425 didn't quite do it for me. It didn't quite do it for me. But got Tom Brady. What did you think of Brady? I thought he was nervous. I think a lot of people said that. I think he was very nervous.
He was very, very nervous. And I could tell, during the Texas Michigan game when he was on halftime, I could tell he was very nervous. He was talking to Joel Klatt. I think he's very, very good, obviously, when he's talking about plays in football and, his 2 cents on things. I think he was a little just messed up trying to include, information about the players, information about, like, their backgrounds almost. It seemed like to me, he almost, like, prepared too much and was trying to do too much.
Yeah.
I think there's a lot of room to improve on him, but I still think he's going to be a very good broadcaster.
Yeah, and I think like mostly it wasn't he wasn't like stepping over Kevin Burkhardt too much. Like I think he tried to stay in his lane a little bit. Some of it was just like I think he got too cliche when he's talking about he gave a line the one time about early in the season you're trying to figure out who your football team is. Thanks, Tom. Back to you. Like stuff like that.
It's a $300 million analysis.
Yeah, he'll figure his. Somebody had that tweet, too. They were like, think about all the quarterbacks that were paid on that field. Dak with his deal, Watson with his deal, and Tom Brady up in the booth. Who was it that sent the tweet that said they'd be better off if Brady just walked down from the booth, grabbed a pair of shoulder pads, and went in there for Deshaun Watson? Somebody had that tweet. Yeah. Somebody had that tweet yesterday. But, yeah, I thought he was fine. So I didn't put him on the good, the bad, or the ugly because I didn't think Brady deserved to be on any of it. I thought he was all right. I think he was middle of the road. Had everything when it came to the game yesterday. So recap where we're at right now. Because all we see today and all we've seen already this morning is just people instantly, Deshaun Watson isn't the guy. And he sucks, and you're better off getting this guy, or you're better off doing that. All of that right now is just clickbait. When I see Bill Simmons, when I see Rex Ryan, when I see all these people, the easy thing to do is to pile on Deshaun Watson right now. And I'm telling you, again, we watched him play. It was horrible. Pile on all you want. It serves no purpose. You've got no option here except to get him right. I think Jared might have sent this out somewhere. Jared Mueller, OBR. Shout out to him. And he had a tweet this morning about what's your leash on Deshaun Watson? How many more games are you going to give him? And I like that question. The true answer is he's got 16 more. He has got 16 more. And you might sit there and say, well, you're just going to go down this season with Deshaun Watson? Yeah, you do not have another choice. Get Joe Flacco out of your head. That's not happening again. That's not happening again. The Browns' only way out of this hell is Deshaun Watson. You know that, and I know that. And I'm talking about this season. We'll deal with the future after this season. I'm talking about right now. The only option the Browns have is to get Deshaun Watson right. And there are people that were blinded to just say, oh, you just got to get him out there playing. He'll just get back to form. Has that not been unequivocal? I'm going to try to keep this. I really need to collect myself on this here for a second. Okay. Here's where we're at. Hang on. Let me get a little sip here. Okay. Can we make an unequivocal statement at this point of the juncture, Ryan, that Deshaun Watson can't just go out there and do it again? Okay? Can we start there? Because for some people that were going to put their head in the sand and just said, he'll be fine, he'll figure it out. Can we put that to bed, please? Can we stop? Because what's the first step I don't even know if it's is it a 12-step program or whatever.
Yes.
Is it not admitting you have a problem?
Yes, that would be the step one.
Let's start with admitting that Deshaun Watson's not good. Now, what some people are going to fail to do is take the jump to step 2, which is starting to fix the problem, okay? But can we, at this juncture, get all on the same page that Deshaun Watson is broken?
Nope. I'm a Watson apologist.
Oh, sorry. That segment was earlier in the show, Ryan. That segment is over for today, anyway. Let's get on the same page that he's not right. Now, what some people aren't going to do is join me on the next statement, which is I need to leave the door open and put the faith that they're going to try to get him right. But we got to start with that he's not right. Because there were people that were going into that game yesterday that just thought, he'll be fine, and just get him out there, and he'll just turn it around himself. That's over. That is done, right? Can we start there? That Deshaun Watson needs help. Not the off-the-field stuff. I'm talking about he has got to get himself right on the field. Because there were people that, for one reason or another, whether it was, hey, what he did in Houston, hey, what he did against that Baltimore team, hey, he makes $230 million. People thought those 3 things were just like a magic elixir that you just pour on this situation, and he comes out the other side, and he's back to Houston, Deshaun Watson. That fairy tale is over. And what you got to realize now is that there is a lot of work that needs to go into getting him right. And I know people that want to jump off the bandwagon already and chalk it up and say that it's over. I can't do that because I have a whole season of football in front of me. This season is unsalvageable without Deshaun Watson. And some of you need to realize that. Some of you out there have got to get this into your head. That Baker Mayfield's not coming back. Joe Flacco is not coming back. I love Jameis Winston, friend of ours here at Big Play. Mondays, Big Play Cleveland show, not this week, but next week. Every Monday. I love James. He's not the answer either. You've got to understand, for this season, your answer is Deshaun Watson. And if it goes bad, then this season is going to go bad. There are people that are already thinking that there is some magic person to walk through that door and fix this. There's not. There's not. And I understand that there's a very real reality that this season is bad. That you go 8-9, that you go 7-10, and it's bad. I understand that that is a real possibility. But what you got to also understand is that there is a chance that they make the playoffs. And there is a chance that it turns around. But both of those scenarios come back to Deshaun Watson. Not anybody else. Not anybody else. So it serves no purpose for people sitting there saying, oh, maybe they should already give Jameis Winston a look. Stop that. Stop that. Dan Orlovsky gets very hot takey, man. And he's already driving this one. Maybe they should give Deshaun Watson. Dan, stop. You know better than that. You know better than that. And that serves no purpose. That serves zero purpose to start having that conversation right now. Because the other thing, people like it's like an entitlement. You know what I'm saying? Like it's almost like we're entitled to have this good season or to have things turn around. And that, like, Deshaun Watson is, like, taking you away. This really, I'm working through this, Ryan, because you see where I'm trying to go with this. Here's a prime example, right? People think that you are on the opposite team as Deshaun Watson, and that Deshaun Watson is the one that is keeping you from winning all these games and going to the playoffs and all that. And what you got to understand is you are on the same team as Deshaun Watson. It would be like this. Like, Ryan, you and I doing this show, that I cast you aside and I go, oh, this is all Ryan's fault. This is all, instead of sitting down and saying, I need Ryan. I cannot do this show. Literally, I cannot do this show without Ryan. Now, thankfully, you're playing a lot better than Deshaun Watson.
Are you comparing me to Deshaun
No, I'm
Watson
not.
right
No.
now?
But I'm saying, like, instead of people understanding that we are all on the same boat in this thing, I actually think that's a sad reflection of our society right now. We're all in this together, man. And women, we're all in this thing together. And as much as you want to kick Deshaun Watson off the boat, you can't. You can't. He is a part of this. And you have got to accept that. People are like, I don't have to accept anything. I'd rather have Jameis Winston play. I didn't want Deshaun Watson here either. It doesn't matter. He's here. He's here. And he's the quarterback of your team. Accept that.
I don't blame people and fans for not having a lick of faith in Deshaun Watson.
I don't either.
And each week that goes on, for myself included, it's getting harder to restore that faith. And I understand that. And, you know, when you tweet something or about a good thing about Deshaun Watson or something positive, I don't have a choice. I'm not going to be a miserable football fan. I waited months for this, and I understand that it's bleak right now.
Yes.
But the reality is he's your quarterback, and you don't have a damn choice in it. You don't have a say in it.
Thank you.
And anytime Deshaun Watson does something good, listen, I'm going to tweet about it. Why? Because it's encouraging, and I want to see him succeed. And there are people out there that would rather Deshaun Watson fail the second he got traded to Cleveland. He could go out next week, throw for 5 touchdowns, 300 yards, have a quarterback rating of 90+, and people will still bitch and complain that he is awful, and you have the right to.
Why?
But at the end of the day, he's your quarterback, and I'm gonna if he does something good, then I'm gonna root for him. And our season depends on him. This isn't new. This isn't new. You knew this months ago. You knew this a year ago. You go as Deshaun Watson goes. It didn't go well week 1. Oh well.
They want to be right. They'd rather be right. They would rather be the people that then would tell you after the season, oh, man, I told you about Deshaun Watson from the jump, man. Okay, fine. You win. Congratulations. We got to suck through the rest of this just so somebody could send me on Twitter and tell me they were right. I don't care about being right or wrong. Okay? Because at the end of it, it doesn't really matter. It doesn't really matter. Okay? And especially in this move with Watson, so I don't mean to revisit this right now, but whatever. Who made the move to get him here? You, me, and everybody know who made the move here. That is the one person or the people that made that move. They don't answer to anybody because they own the freaking team. So them winning or losing, that doesn't matter. You on Twitter or you, me, and Ryan doing this, it doesn't matter. Whatever I tell you, I don't start this show. Tell me, give me my flowers. Throw me my bouquet, Ryan, because I was right about this. I don't care. I want the Browns to win. And for right now, we don't have a choice. It's Deshaun Watson. And I understand that there are people out there, and I know plenty, that don't want the Browns to succeed because they don't like Deshaun Watson.
Yes, 100%.
That's a little different in this whole thing. If you cast off the Browns because you didn't like the person that Deshaun Watson was, I understand that. I respect that. That's fine. I'm talking about the people that are just Browns fans. Because I do think the vast majority of people understand what he did. It's not that you don't care, but we're talking about football right now. You want to know this something, Tira? You want some people got to understand? I don't care if Deshaun Watson is my Super Bowl winning quarterback. I don't care if it's Baker Mayfield. I don't care if it's Jameis Winston. I don't care if it's Quinn Ewers. I don't care if it's some kid that's still in high school right now. I don't care who it is. I just want to win. I just want to win a Super Bowl. So I don't care how we get there. So there's no point in me sitting there saying, tally one up because I was right about Deshaun Watson or tally one up because I was wrong about Deshaun Watson. There is no other course of action right now other than getting Deshaun Watson to play to the level that you thought. Now, the problem is we are the furthest away. Now, here's an interesting question for you. Is this the lowest or furthest away that you have ever felt about Deshaun Watson being the quarterback for the Cleveland Browns?
Yeah, I'd say
probably,
so.
Right?
I'd say that's very fair.
Probably. That this is the furthest away that we have ever felt about getting him back to the level that we thought.
The issue is everything isn't black and white. There can be multiple things that remain true at the same instance in time. Yes, Deshaun Watson played horrible yesterday. There's no way about that. He was horrible.
Yes.
If you think Baker Mayfield wins that game behind center for the Browns,
that's one thing.
I want you to buy. I'm going to buy you a straight jacket and send you to the nearest insane asylum.
It's like, yeah, and I get because of what Baker did yesterday we'll all be better off if we just come to the agreement that we were talking about. Just you're in this with Deshaun Watson, whether you like it or not. Whether you like it or not, he is the quarterback for the Cleveland Browns, and he's going to be. And by the time the Browns make a decision on if they bench him, the season's over anyway. So I might as well put all my eggs in the basket of him turning this around. As bleak as that seems, and I understand how far away it is, you've got no choice as a Browns fan. And I'm going to ask him to turn things around, get down there to Jacksonville, and try to win a freaking football game. That's it. And I'll do it the next week, and the week after that, and the week after that, and the week after that. Until it is just so painfully obvious that he's not the answer. And at that point, we'll have a lot of different discussions, but we're not there yet either, you know? And I get how bad yesterday was. Ryan, this is not a stretch of 5 games. You know, he didn't have 5 consecutive games. That was, okay. I'm going to put my Deshaun Watson apologist hat on for a second. You ready for this? It was game 1. He didn't play in the preseason. It was Micah Parsons with a banged-up offensive line. Okay, there you go. Now, if I'm entering Halloween, which I've already seen Spirit Halloweens everywhere, which is great, 'tis the season. We get to Halloween, we're having the same discussion, where you got 4, 5, 6 games in a row that he's looked like this, then we'll have a different conversation. It was 1 game.
A positive takeaway, too, from that game. Yes, he played bad, but I saw no signs that led me to believe his shoulder
That's
is
a
100%.
great point. I was thinking the same thing. That's a great point.
I thought he made some good throws that an injured shoulder he wouldn't have been able to make.
I liked it. He had some zip.
He did.
Zip and rust, the 2 things that we're going to talk about. He had it, and he did take some shots to his shoulder, and I'm sure he's sore today. I know they asked him right after the game, like, how you feeling? He goes, my adrenaline's still rushing. I'll find out tomorrow. I'm sure he's hurt. I'm sure he's banged up.
Hey, he got decked and made a beautiful throw that Amari straight dropped.
He did. Yeah, he did. So you're right. You talk about limiting. Oh God, we do an experiment. What's
variables?
Variables. Thank you. We eliminated a variable. It's not his shoulder.
Yeah.
It's not that. Now you want to talk about a variable, the offense or the offensive line? Sure. It's not his shoulder. That's a great point. That's something. Scratch that off. We know it's not that. It'd be easier to swallow, though. You know, it'd be easier to stomach it if you're like, oh man, the shoulder's still banged up.
It would be easier to swallow, and it might be easier numb your pain for right now. But at the end of the day, you can still fix a mental error, like a mental injury.
That's easier than fixing a shoulder.
Yes, it might be difficult, and it might be harder in the short term. But I'm looking at this season by season right now with Deshaun Watson.
Well, the other thing, and this is about a final thing, before we catch our break, we'll come back. We're going to go around the league. We got the grid. We got time up. We got all of it. And our giveaway today. By the way, go to Matt Fontana's show. Hit the retweet for a chance to win a big play prize package after we hit the grid last week. So go check that out. Buckle up. This isn't going to be for the weak-minded. This isn't going to be easy. It's going to be really hard. And I know that we had all the optimism in the world for this season. It's going to be hard. It's not going to be easy.
Do you think I'm insane when I'm saying Baker Mayfield would not win us that game?
Why? I wanted you to run through YouTube comments, because like you and I were talking about today, we had a great day to take calls.
Because we don't have said, Ryan, that's just wrong. Baker's a type of quarterback for our type of offense. He can actually read a defense. I'm not saying Baker wouldn't have had a better performance than Deshaun Watson did yesterday.
I can't.
But if you simply say we win that game if Baker Mayfield's our quarterback, you're wrong.
I can't. I can't make those comparisons. I have no idea. I really have no idea. And Baker made a lot of mistakes when he was here and all that other kind of stuff. I really have no idea. And I just...
And what I hate about the Baker, what did you want the Browns to do?
Again, revisionist history is a fun thing. Like, there were so many people that said, right, good, get Baker out of here, kick him to the curb. And the thing is, and I saw this tweet from some other people that were going, again, this conversation is so crazy, but whatever. You understand that the Baker Mayfield that you had in Tampa would never have been the Baker Mayfield here.
Yes.
He had to go to Tampa, or I'm sorry, he had to go to Carolina. He had to go to the Rams. He has basically admitted that when he's been on some of these podcasts where he goes, I handled it wrong in Cleveland. I don't think he would have had that vision, the clairvoyance, if you will, had he not gone through what he went through. What you got to start with and understand is this: the version of Baker Mayfield that is in Tampa, you would never have had here. He had to go through some of those things, frankly, to humble himself, and I think change his mental outlook on things. And I'm happy for Baker, and good for him. Different guy. Completely different guy than what you would have had here. And it's, again, they made that move. There were people going, jumping over. Oh, great. You got Sean Watson. What a big upgrade. All that kind of stuff. I don't know. We can't do calls. We wanted to. Do you want to rip through? Just rip me through YouTube comments.
I'm going to get it
Just
so we can do calls.
What's that?
I'm going to find a way where we can
So,
can
we talk about that for just a second?
Yeah.
I would okay. Let's take a little side from the Browns. I think we can all use a break. And this has very much to do with the fans. So back when I was doing the radio show,
yeah,
obviously, what's a big thing for radio shows? Callers. And I've had consultants throughout my career. I've met with coaches to do this job and all that. And there are two sides of every coin where there are people like, nope, callers are the lifeblood of what you do because they're viewers. And I had a consultant one time, the late great Mr. Tom Bigby. Tom unfortunately passed away. And Tom was like this one of the godfathers, if you will, of sports talk radio. And Tom sat there and he told me this. Callers are not listeners and listeners are not callers. And I said, wait a minute. What do you mean? Just think about it this way. How many people do you know that they call a radio show every single day because they're a caller? They don't care what the topic is. They don't even listen to the show. They just pick their phone up and they call in because that's what they do. Then how many people out there do you know that listen or, in this medium, watch your show and don't ever call or don't ever comment, right? Well, that's pretty interesting when you think about it. Now, he was pro caller. When I was doing ECT with Danny and Nick, we did a whole show where we asked the people and put a Twitter question out, should we take calls on our show? And there's two sides. There are some people that say, no, I just enjoy you guys bantering. I enjoy your talk. I enjoy you guys just going back and forth. That's why I listen. And then there's other people that say, no, callers inject a little lifeblood to the show, or they inject different points, or there are people that are challenged, which I agree with. And I think about this when I listen to others. I'm still, even doing this job, I'm still just an average Cleveland sports fan. I listen to other sports shows all the time. Ryan, when you're listening to another show, do you turn your radio off when you hear a caller?
No.
I sometimes do. Because when
it depends what they're talking about.
Well, no, the thing is, when I listen to shows, I listen to them because I want to hear the host talk. And that they are the reason that I listen. So I go back and forth. Now, we have YouTube comments, which I want you to run through here in a second. But I say that to say all this. I'm not anti-calls. If we can find a way, which didn't we at one point?
Yeah, I could definitely get it back running.
You want to try it?
Yeah, tomorrow.
Not today. Yeah, not today. Not today. But maybe I'm turning over a new leaf here. Because I used to be so anti-caller and all that other kind of stuff. But I'm open to it if the people are. I just want to do the best show for the people that consume our content. That's it. And, there are funny callers and there's stuff that can, do all that. But the only thing is then you'd have to screen call. Not necessarily. If somebody called in, can you not just put them on hold and then I just go, all right, caller, line one?
Yeah, absolutely.
All right. Maybe we'll think about it. All right, let's do this, though. Let's do it on Monday. Let's rip through just YouTube comments. They do it on Unfiltered 5 on some other show out there. We'll do it on Unfiltered 5 here.
All right, you want to do it?
Yeah, just rip through them.
All right. Well, Angelo earlier said, Matt, at this point, it's not clickbait, dude. We're going on year 3 of this dog shit.
Yep. No, and that's a good point. Here's why callers work. Angelo, great point. Here's what I'm saying. I'm almost asking everybody to shove that out the door. I am almost asking everybody to set everything that you have ever seen about Deshaun Watson to the side. Because that's how I'm viewing it. I don't care what he did in Houston. I don't care what he did in Baltimore. And I frankly don't care about the contract anymore. I'm almost asking everybody to just shove everything to the side and just focus on Deshaun Watson being the quarterback that we need him to be.
Charles says, go back and watch interviews of how excited Cooper and Njoku were to play with the right type of quarterback for Stefanski's offense.
Yeah.
Now we're trying to change that offense to fit the QB.
That's a good point. By the way, Charles, I wasn't talking. So yesterday I said, Browns fans, you have 9 hours to go mix in a water. That was right after Charles sent out a video of him with some garage. Charles, it wasn't at you, man. You were not one I was worried about, buddy. There were some amateurs over there. Amateur hour over there in the Muni lot. By the way, the Bengal-Orion. How you guys doing, by the way?
Yeah, wow. Yeah, at least we didn't lose the Patriots.
Yeah. So he posted a video of them with a whole cooler garage beer, and they're pouring the ice over top of it. Ice cold beer. There's nothing better than that. There's nothing. You can get out of the tap. You can get out of your refrigerator. The beer on ice in a cooler, just perfect. And can I get you a little plug here again for our friends at Garage Beer? Bro, it has taken over in my friend group. So I brought my brother-in-law and my buddy Pat to my golf outing. And my brother-in-law, I went over to have breakfast with him yesterday. He went out with his friends Saturday night to watch the college football. He goes, everybody was drinking. In their circle, a group of friends, they discovered garage beer. It's all they drink. My buddy Pat comes over to watch the game Saturday night. You know what he's got in tow with him? A half-empty 12-pack because he goes, I've been drinking these ever since the golf outing. And we all kind of came to the same point. Garage beer is the perfect sipping drink. You know, again, you can have a heavy beer, and we all know those beers that I like too, but you have two of them and you feel like, man, I'm good right now. Garage beer, and I always drink responsibly, never get behind the wheel of a car. But like you're sitting there with your buddies and you're going to watch 4 hours of a football game, garage beer, man. You're going to be out at a golf outing like we were a couple of weeks ago, garage beer. Like, dude, it is taking over. And the thing I was talking to my brother-in-law about this, not to talk about other beers or anything like that, but some of them you're like, yeah, a little watered down. These other ones, you know, got a little like spice to it. When garage beer tells you that they are beer-flavored beer, I have now come to this realization. Garage beer is the perfect light beer. It is. It's got a taste to it that I can't find anywhere. And it's everything that I would ask for a light beer, where I can have two and it's got flavor to it. I'm not stumbling around. I tell you, man, it's perfection. Garage beer is perfection. And now it's starting to trickle out, and I see the impact that they're having. I see it in stores now that I never saw it before. The footprint is taking over, man. We're so happy to be hooked up with our friends at Garage Beer, and I know we had a great time with our tailgate here, but that honestly, no joke, man, that's unsolicited. It's not just what I do. That is my group of friends that's telling me how much they love Garage Beer. It's so great. Sorry, I just had to say that from over the weekend. I know Charles, great friend of us here on the show and a great supporter of us.
Matt, I'm putting you on the spot here, so excuse me, but I just tweeted this out because I want to get the vibe, right?
Yeah. From the show?
Yeah.
Okay.
I'm asking the people, do you think the Browns will make the playoffs this year? And I want to see after week 1 how drastic that drop is.
I mean, the thing is, I could get you into, you know, the playoff percentage, like, there's a chart that I had, and I'd have to find it, but it was from like 10 years ago when they only played 16 games. And it was a playoff percentage based off of every record that you could have, right? 0-1, 1-4, 2-5, like, you know, whatever. And the thing is, there's so many factors at play. Okay, so you're 0-1. It was an NFC team, okay? The Bengals lost, the Ravens lost. That seemed like a bonus win there for the Steelers a little bit. I don't think they looked all that good. Justin Field. Ooh, we'll get to that around the league in a second. We're just going to go right to around the league, by the way, because we're way late here. Just tell everybody about Garage Beer again, but I just told you how much I love them. Okay. What I'm about to say, you're instantly going to yell at me about Deshaun Watson. Because I would say that almost nothing yesterday changes how I view the playoffs. And you'd sit there and what? You would scream, you idiot, do you have eyes? Did you watch Deshaun Watson? I said they're going to make the playoffs, and I'm still going to say they're going to make the playoffs. There you go. That's my vote on it. Ryan?
Listen, yesterday wasn't a good look. I don't think that's up for debate.
Yep.
But I have to stick to my guns.
Yeah.
If I believe in Kevin Stefanski, which clearly on this show we do, as I think he's earned that, I have to say yes. I think they'll overcome it. Now, Listen, I'm not going to say they're going to win the AFC North. That's not what the question was. Does it seem bleak right now? But I can think of plenty of seasons that teams start off 0-1 and look horrible, and they figure it out.
The Ravens. Do you think the Ravens are sitting there crying? You know, I understand that they thought they could have beaten the Chiefs. Maybe they should have, whatever. And there's two sides of the coin. Not every win or loss is equal. We feel worse because we look like crap. We're in the same boat as the Ravens, you know? Who feels worse today, the Bengals or us? And the Bengals, they're talking about wrist swollenness again or whatever. And, like, did they really think that they could do it just with Jamar Chase? Like, what? You know what I mean? Like, not all wins and losses are created equal. I get that. But I'm going to hold out hope. I said they were going to make the playoffs. I had them as a wild card, and I'm going to sit here and ride it out again.
Fair enough.
There it goes. Speaking of teams that are going to make it or not. Week 1 in the books. Ryan, let's go. Around the league. 9 months?
Yeah, man, it's been a
8 months?
while.
God, it's so great to be back. Let's go around the league, all the games, and our plays for tonight. To Monday Night Football. Can I watch this game tonight? No, I can't. I'm cutting the cord this afternoon. I'm making the phone call. I had to sit down with my wife. You want to know what this first page is, Ryan? That's literally all of my research on why I'm going to cut the cord.
There you go.
There it is. Got to get it done. So, you know, one of the crappy thing is I pay for ESPN Plus. I still can't watch the game. Why not? I pay for ESPN Plus, and I get to watch ESPN.
It's never that easy.
No. You want to know what? Tonight it's going to be on Channel 5 because it's on ABC. You got the out. AT&T, you got 12 hours to get your shit figured out, or I'm gone. As a 14-year customer, gone. They're not watching. They don't really care. Ryan, go ahead.
Alrighty, well, we didn't get an opportunity to talk about the Brazil game, Eagles and
right.
Packers, because that was Friday night, but the Eagles do come out of that one victorious. They win 34-29. Big news, of course, is Jordan Love. It looks like he avoided a bigger injury than it would have been, projected to be out 3 to 4 weeks. That's a blow for them, but Saquon Barkley, 3 touchdowns in his Eagles debut. Jalen Hurts, a little struggles. The offense struggled in general, but they win 34-29.
How do you let them play on that field? Seriously, how did you let that happen? Where I'm not saying the Jordan Love injury was created by that because he got hit and we all saw the play. But, like, I'm holding my breath when I see Saquon slipping and all, like, with the NFL, with all of this money, how is this still a problem? And I get that you're going to these soccer stadiums. The difference is, and, let's get, put on my dad landscaping thing. Soccer grass is like this long. Football grass is meant to be like this long. Like, very clearly, this doesn't work for football. How? With all of your billions of dollars, do you not just tear fields out and put in fields that suffice to what you need? I didn't know this until I talked about it on the broadcast, right? That was hybrid, where there was some grass with turf mixed in. What is that? What are you doing? Let alone all the other stuff with Brazil that was going on. I'm glad everything went fine. Stop doing these international games until you can get this field conditions fixed.
They won't do that.
I know. That aside, how does that change things for the Packers, man? Where we had them, you and I were both talking about them potentially winning that North. We saw the Lions. We'll get to that game last night. Big blow there. Saquon Barkley is an animal. I think he's going to feast in that offense. Eagles, a couple notches up for me for Super Bowl. Certainly after that game. It's a big one. Packers, it just sucks. And I had Jordan Love as an MVP sleeper out there. Go and cash those tickets right on out.
Alrighty, well, the Bills storm back down 17-3 early. They win 34-28. Josh Allen, 3 total touchdowns. Marvin Harrison Jr. held to just 1 catch for 4 yards in his debut as the Bills go 1-0.
Kyler Murray back, like leading rusher. They needed him to do that. I think there's optimism for Arizona, to be honest with you, on some of the things that I saw there. But Buffalo, I don't know if you can be all that excited for the game. Like, Keon Coleman was their leading receiver, which is great. I still have all the questions that we do, that if Josh Allen's going to have to do it all by himself. Only 2 targets for Dalton Kincaid, which was interesting. And again, Marvin Harrison as a rookie struggled, get it, all that kind of stuff. Don't know if there's much to take away from either teams. Like, again, Arizona, you he really kind of choked away that game. Buffalo woke up, came back, beat them just fine. No change. In week 1, I'm going to do this for every team. Super Bowl, up or down, no change for me for Buffalo. Maybe a little more optimism for Arizona, but they still ain't making the playoffs.
Josh Allen with a run game is a scary sight.
Oh, do you want me to do our picks, by the way? Should I do that?
Yeah, I got our records up there.
So, there it is. So, I won Philly, you lost Green Bay. We both won on Arizona. It was 6.5. We got the hook, and they lost by 6, so you and I both won Arizona there.
Alrighty, well, yes, the Browns did lose and get embarrassed, but so did our neighbors down south. The Cincinnati Bengals, they lose to the Patriots in an upset in the jungle, 16-10. Burrow, 21 for 29, just 164 yards. Ramondre Stevenson goes $120 and a touchdown as Jacoby Brissett gets the win over the Bengals.
That was the recipe for disaster. The Patriots did nothing flashy, made things really hard on defense, and it's like they suffocated the Cincinnati Bengals. Again, without T. Higgins, who were they going to throw to? They could not run the football yesterday. And you saw how many times did they pan to Joe Burrow on that game, and he's just standing there looking like Eminem, going like, I don't know what the hell's going on right here. And especially at home. That game felt like it was played at Gillette. That was the biggest takeaway I have from that is the Patriots did exactly what you thought they were going to do, and the Bengals still couldn't stop them. I think it's a bad loss. That's a really bad loss for Cincinnati.
I'd love to
for the
see
Patriots, it's going to be what this season's about. You feel good about it. Eventually, it'll be Drake May. Good for Jacoby Brissett, man. Yeah, and you're right. Ramondre Stevenson had a game, man. Pushing that offensive line around. Great job there. Big win. And you and I both took New England to cover not only the 8.5, but outright winners. Well done for the Patriots.
Alrighty, well, the G-Men of New York start off 0-1. As expected, we both went Vikings.
Right.
Plus 1.5. Sam Darnold goes 208 yards, 2 touchdowns and a pick. Daniel Jones just 186 yards through the air, 2 turnovers. Aaron Jones goes just shy of 100 yards rushing, adds a touchdown as their defense also scores a touchdown. They rout the Giants in New York 28-6.
That was my lock of the week. It was an easy one to be had. Darnold, again, consistent, what you expected. Aaron Jones, I thought was going to be nice there. And it's not like you had a big Justin Jefferson game or Jordan Addison, who did get hurt in that game, by the way, too. There for the Vikings. Again, not much to take away. Neither of those teams are making the playoffs, but the Giants are cheeks, man. They're really, really, really bad. And the Vikings just, hey, man, picked up the win. They did exactly what you thought, and you are correct, sir. We both had Minnesota minus 1.5, which I'm shocked it was not more, but there we are.
Alrighty, well, Caleb Williams makes his long-awaited NFL debut. Just 93 yards, total offense for the Bears, under 150 yards, but the defense carries them in this one. They storm back down 17-0. They win 24-17 as Caleb Williams moves to 1-0 in the Chicago era.
Will Levis, interceptions aplenty, same thing. They're not going anywhere for the Titans. I think you would take some positivity out of the Bears, like mostly Caleb Williams, that he did rebound the way that they did. I didn't watch too much of that game other than seeing the highlights of Will Levis choke it away, basically. And I think that's probably more the chalk up here is that Tennessee gave that game away for the Bears. But well done, and we both had Chicago to take that win, minus 4.5. They did that.
Alrighty, well, the Carolina Panthers, they stake their claim once again as the worst team in the National Football League. They get routed 47-10. Bryce Young, 2 picks. Derek Carr, 3 touchdowns, 200 yards. This one was all New Orleans early and often, Matt.
You know, a lot of people started bringing up the resurgence of the Saints, and who's their new offensive coordinator there?
I don't know.
Clint Kubiak. Because I saw tweets that people go, man, Derek Carr must feel really good in this new Clint Kubiak offense. Let's just talk about that they beat up on the worst team in football in the Carolina Panthers. I don't even want to pile on poor Bryce Young anymore. Now, here's the weird part. Both you and I took Carolina, did we not?
Yeah.
Because I was worried that I didn't think the Saints were going to be all that. Remind me, don't ever take Carolina again. We both lost that one on Carolina with that. I put Panthers instead of Carolina. We both took Panthers on that one. I don't think there's too much to write home about the Saints. Okay, fine. The offense looked good. The old saying is you're shooting a shotgun into a cardboard box. It looks good. It proves nothing. Panthers suck. I don't think the Saints are much better. And, of course, they kick their ass because they're that bad.
All right, well, no touchdowns, no problems for the Steelers as their defense carries them to this win. Chris Boswell's 6 field goals proves to be enough as the Steelers win 18-10 against the Falcons. Kirk Cousins struggles in his Atlanta debut, 155 yards, touchdown, 2 interceptions.
Yeah.
George Pickens leads the way with 85 yards as Steelers move to 1-0 as Justin Fields gets the impromptu start for an injured Russell Wilson.
Listen, okay, number one, I feel like an idiot because I took Atlanta live minus 3.5, and of course they lose outright here. They were 3.5. Just start. We both took the loss on there. Justin Fields still isn't good. He's still not good. There were wide open passes that I saw him running, trying to make the throws. That was a loss for the Falcons. I don't know how much I feel better about the Steelers. I just think that was more of the Falcons choking that away. TJ Watt's still very good. I was being facetious when I joked about him picking up that fumble because it hit the guy that was running by, and then he picked it up. I said, don't break that down for defensive player of the year.
And I was in my head, I thought you were serious. I'm like, no, that was a good hustle play.
I know, I'm just kidding. I just want to crap on TJ Watt for a second. No, I think that's more of the Falcons being shockingly bad. But good for the Steelers, I guess. Win for them. Okay, they still win the division, though.
Already, but the Dolphins, they come back down 17-7. Costly end zone fumble by Travis Etienne would prove to be fatal. Dolphins win 20-17 as Jason Sanders hits a 52-yard field goal as time expires. The Dolphins escape with the win.
How do you choke that out in the second half with no points? No points. For Trevor Lawrence, who only threw for 162 yards. I'm knocking Jacksonville down. Miami, little wake-up call. I think a lot of these games, you could probably say the same thing, like a little bit of a wake-up call for some of these teams. But Jacksonville, no points in the second half to lose that game. That's not what you like to see again. The fumble was bad. I liked what I saw of Brian Thomas, though. I like that.
Yeah.
And if Gabe Davis and Brian Thomas, along with Evan Ingram, can those be the leading guys there for Trevor Lawrence? I still think there's optimism to be had with Jacksonville. I have them as a playoff team. I think they're going to eventually make it. For Miami, though, hey, you woke up, came back out. Not the big game that you thought. And, of course, the biggest story on that was what? Tyreek Hill, man. What is going on? And I saw this because I know Drew Rosenhaus was doing all the media yesterday to talk about this. And I think there's a really serious point to be made. This got brought up because it was Tyreek Hill. How much does this happen to average people that doesn't get talked about? You know, what was Tyreek doing? Okay, a moving violation. All right? A moving violation. Why was he face down? Did he get kicked by one of those police officers while in cuffs?
That's what they said. I didn't see the video.
There's a full-on review and investigation. And I think Tyreek had a good point. This got brought up because it was Tyreek Hill. How much does that happen when it's not Tyreek Hill? You know, and that's sad. It comes back. Was that not him trying to get to the game? Was this not straight Scotty Scheffler? Him trying to go. Now, I know what happened with Scotty Scheffler was somebody unfortunately got hit, you know, in a car accident. But, like, was Tyreek, who's been in Miami for a year, does he not know where he's supposed to go or supposed to be? I don't know. It was just a really, really weird situation. I hope they'll launch an investigation, get down to the bottom of the answer.
Did you bet Tyreek anytime touchdown?
No, I should have. Well, yeah, that should have been a lot. Yeah, for sure. And then I saw this from some people like Jeff Darlington, because he was also at the Scotty Scheffler thing,
like,
and now
he's like their certified arrest guy.
Yeah, apparently he's just where the story goes. You don't want to see Jeff Darlington around your team because apparently it's not good news for him. So we'll see. But yeah, Miami woke up. Jacksonville lost that game. You can't score. You can't go scoreless in the second half and win a game.
Well, the Texans get the best of the Colts in an AFC South matchup. C.J. Stroud, 234 yards, 2 touchdowns. Nico Collins goes $117 through the air. Stephon Diggs scores twice in his Texans debut. Richardson goes 212 yards through the air, 2 touchdowns and a pick. 56 yards on the ground. He runs one in. But the the Texans start off 1-0 as they get the best of the rivals. You know, and again, Indianapolis, they were toe-to-toe with them throughout. That second half was a lot of fun to watch. It was I shouldn't say it was just like Jacksonville that score. It was the opposite, where both those teams are going back and forth. You saw what? 2 young quarterbacks going. Here's the craziest thing was, again, Anthony Richardson. I think you said he was 9 for 19. That was it. That throw to Pierce, though. Whew. Corked that.
Oh, yeah.
I'm telling you,
crazy.
Dude. When he trucked that linebacker in the end zone.
Yeah. I don't know if you want him running that much, but it certainly worked.
Our quarterback should not be able to do that.
That was a fun game. That felt like a playoff game, didn't it?
Because it will be.
Yeah, I think it will be. A lot of fun to watch. And again, you did it without Pittman doing so much, without, again, you know, Stephon Diggs had the 2 touchdowns, but Nico Collins had $117. Houston's scary, man. Scary good. I have him winning the South. I think something's going to be shown there with Indianapolis about how good Anthony Richardson's going to be. Again, you got to treat him like a rookie. He basically is. That's the kind of performance you wanted to see, though. Fun game to watch, though, and we split. I actually lost on Houston. You won on Indy because it was 3, and they only won by 2.
Yep. Love to see it. Alrighty, well, the Chargers, they start off 1-0 in the Jim Harbaugh era. They beat the Raiders 22-10. Herbert, 1 touchdown through the air. It was caught by my boy, Ladd McConkey. But the story is J.K. Dobbins, 10 carries, 135 yards, and a touchdown. Love to see that for the Buckeye, who's been battling career injuries.
Somebody had a great tweet. They go, the NFL makes interesting bedfellows where Joey Bosa and J.K. Dobbins, 2 Ohio State Buckeyes, helped Jim Harbaugh get his win there to start things off for the Chargers. Can't read too much into that. I think the Raiders are tanking this year. Minshew's just a placeholder for their quarterback of the future they don't have. And I think it'll start to probably ramp up a little bit eventually if Devontae Adams wanting to get out of there. I know he said right now he's happy. I think very eventually he's going to want to get out of there. Not much going on with the Raiders. Zamir White, not a great debut. I know a lot of people were hyped about him. For the Chargers, that was an easy win for them. It was always going to be. Well done. Get Herbert healthy. Get him back. See what they can do.
Well, it might have been a little closer than they would have liked.
Sorry.
Go for it.
I need to do a better job of organizing these somehow. Bears, Falcons, Steelers, Bengals. Where the fuck is this game?
Chargers, Raiders. Did you not write it down?
We didn't pick that game.
Are you sure?
That was a 4 o'clock game, wasn't it? It had to have been.
Yeah.
I think we missed that game. Hang on. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15. We missed the game. We missed that game because I only have 15 on my sheet. We missed it.
Oh.
So,
well, I think I would have picked Chargers and you would have picked Raiders.
yeah, I think, very clearly. I think that's how it would have gone. So we'll scrap that out. Sorry, we missed that game.
Alrighty, well, a little bit closer than they would have liked, I'm sure, but Mike McDonald gets his first win in his debut as new head coach of the Seattle Seahawks. They win 26-20. Bo Nix, 138 yards, 2 picks in his National Football League debut. Not good. Kenneth Walker goes 20 carries, 103 yards, and a touchdown. Tyler Lockett leads receiving, 6 receptions, 77 yards as Geno Smith and company get the win.
Yeah, I mean, again, where there was some trepidation there for a second because Denver, you're like, oh, man, maybe they're playing here a little bit. I'd actually feel positive about Bo Nix to start. The thing is, they've got no offensive to run. They've got nothing other than Bo Nix. Their receivers are bad. Tankier from the Broncos. But again, all you need, Bo Nix, let him throw 40 times. Literally, let him throw 40 times. That's fine. He's going to throw some interceptions. It's all good. Seattle grinds it out, gets the win. That's all that really matters. I can't read too much into it, but Seattle gets it done. And I think we both took we both took Denver. But the thing is, it's a push because we got 6 even. Yes. So it's a push for us, the one that we have there for the week.
Alrighty, well, couldn't have gotten off to a better start for Baker Mayfield and the Tampa Bay Buccaneers as they rout the Commanders 37-20. Baker Mayfield, 289 yards, 4 touchdown passes. Mike Evans was the recipient of 2 of those. Jaden Daniels in his debut, 148 yards through the air, but 88 yards rushing and 2 touchdowns.
Yeah, good job. Again, good start. Same thing with Bo Nix. Get these guys the experience. Don't get them hurt. I took Tampa. You took Washington. Tampa, the Falcons down now. Like, what a switch that is. I still think Tampa might be a good shot there for that AFC South.
Already, well, an overtime thriller for our first Sunday night football game.
Great
the
game.
Lions edge out the Rams 26-20. Cooper Kupp for the Rams, a career high, 14 receptions, 110 yards, and a touchdown. Goff, 1 touchdown, 1 pick, 217 yards. Jamison Williams with a great game, 5 receptions, 121 yards, 1 touchdown. Could this be the breakout year for J-Mo?
Maybe, because they weren't really throwing Amon-Ra St. Brown, which was interesting. I thought Goff was off a little bit, but you forget Jahmyr Gibbs and David Montgomery. The Lions are that good. I think there's positivity for the Rams other than Puka Nacua, who got hurt in that game. What a blow that could be. Kyron Williams was fine. That felt like a playoff game. It might be a playoff game. Stafford back in Detroit. It was a really, really fun game to watch last night.
Cooper Kupp is so back.
Yeah, I thought it was going to be a big year for him, too.
Dude, that fly needs to F off.
I think I got it. Got no body, though, so I don't know where that goes. I took Detroit. You took the Rams on that last night.
Yeah, that's kind of BS.
I could have seen it either way. I could have seen it either way. But it was a lot of fun for that game to get it done. All right, tonight we'll get to the Jets and the 49ers. We'll get to our play on that. We'll get to an abbreviated time up. We got to get to our bracket. But it is a new week for a big prize on the line.
Yeah, are we going to I still don't know what our potential giveaway is.
No, you don't.
Is it, can I get a hint? Is it something good?
I think it's very good.
Okay.
I think it's something you would want to win. I know it's something I would want to win.
Do I get any more? You don't have to. I don't mind.
I mean, do you want to know? It's up to you.
No, I think it's better if we don't say what it is.
Okay, fair enough. So here's where it is. First off, oh, by the way, we got to pick our winner for the end of the show.
Yeah, we do.
We do. So do this. Go to @Fontana Show. Drop us a follow there on Twitter. We're also on YouTube, and you can subscribe to our Twitch channel and go to the brand new Big Play app. Download it. iOS, Apple, it's coming soon to Android. Get it for your Roku TV. You can watch. I'm watching Bruce's show right there. Enter the Jungle. Chico's Countdown Kickoff. Come get some. Us, The Return, Hanford, Bobby, Big Play Cleveland. It's all the. When did they have Rich Franklin on?
Oh, that was a little while ago.
That was a little while ago.
Yeah.
Stephen Kwan interview was a little while ago, and you can get
what it was?
Jameis Winston.
It was the week that McGregor fight got called
Oh,
off.
nice. Okay, yeah. So there you go. Folks, we got Jameis Winston here. He's going to be a part of us every single week, and you can get it for free on the Big Play app. Here we are. Here's my ugly mug right there. Right there. Get it on the Big Play app. And I saw some things out there for some giveaways that we had rocking here at our tailgate. We'll tell you more about the tailgates when we get a home game come back around. You can catch us all there, but follow and retweet on Twitter. We'll pick our winner for our Big Play merch package this week. But, Ryan, we go 5 for 5, buddy, and we're back to the even bigger giveaway.
Oh, I sure hope, man. Let's do it.
Here we go. I'm feeling good. I feel really positive. You want to know why? All the guys that moved to new teams, they're now eligible for this.
Yeah, I hope it updated.
Oh, no, I would be shocked if it didn't. They're on top of this stuff, I think. I think they're good.
Okay.
All right. Now, I'll tell you this.
Okay.
Before I didn't even really look at it yet. If we hit one and it didn't update, we will not take that out. You get what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Like, if we put Cordell Patterson for the Steelers, and we know he played, I watched him play.
Yep.
That's not an L for us.
Yep, I agree.
Okay? You agree with that?
I agree with that.
Here we go. No night. Look, we've been on this Monday Lifeline bull crap. Today's not the day. Let's go. Go.
50 sacks, Seahawks. Who's their legacy one? Don't they have a legacy one?
Not that I can think of.
Really?
Hey, who's a legacy defender for the Seahawks? You'd say Bobby Wagner.
Yeah, but I thought there was like a legacy edge that I can't think of. You're my old head guy.
Not that I can think of. Now, your answer there. Can you get off that so I can see the top two? I'm sorry. I didn't. Thank you. The answer we go with is Jadeveon Clown.
Does he have 50 sacks?
Oh, he's got to. How does he not? I mean, hold off, because then... Oh, let's get the other ones. All right, go ahead.
JJ?
Yep.
Aaron Donald.
All right, let's fill out some of these other ones here.
Green Bay, Seattle. Is that not Jimmy Graham? Didn't he play for both the game?
Yes. Now, does Jimmy Graham... We don't need him anywhere else. Jimmy Graham's good.
Right. He definitely played a game for both, right? Am I making that up?
No, 100%. He was in Green Bay for a couple of years.
This is not Randall Cobb,
Yeah.
right?
Right.
He played for the Texans.
Yes. And then I was thinking Brandon Cooks, Texans, Cowboys, right?
Yes, that would work.
Yep.
And I don't.
Now, do you need Brandon? Well.
Yeah,
right. Thank you. We got to be better on that. You're right. We got to be so much better on that. So we can God damn it.
Fly?
Yes. I'd throw that MacBook at it, but I think Gab would be upset. Oh, he's distracted. All right.
Well, can we think of another Cowboys?
That's
Rams?
like, let's give it a second there.
There's got to be.
I'm sure there is. I'm not overly concerned about it. Well, Texans, Cowboys.
Oh, Dalton Schultz.
Yeah, that's right. Yeah. So do that, then do Brandon Cooks there. I was going to say, somebody just left there. Dalton Schultz. Go Brandon Cooks there. Nice. Okay. All right. We're working through it here. Yeah. Rams, Packers. Is that not Clay Matthews? The third? Did he go to the Rams?
Yeah, he did.
Yeah. Oh, nice. Okay. Cowboys, Seahawks. Cowboys, Seahawks.
Where did Stephon Gilmore sign? I forget. Vikings?
Yeah. But he never played in Seattle.
Right.
All right, Matt Hasselbeck, I don't think ever went to Dallas. I feel like there's a receiver.
Yeah, I do too.
Like Josh Gordon never played in Dallas.
Percy Harvin, Doug Baldwin. I don't think either played in Dallas.
I don't think so. Running backs, Marshawn Lynch never played in Dallas. R.I.P. Marion Barber, I don't think he ever went to Seattle. I think there's got to be a legacy guy. You know what I mean? Like, Nick Van Etz? That's a deep cut.
I mean, did any of the people from the Legion of Boom go to Dallas? I feel like they had to.
No, Richard Sherman didn't. And Cam Chancellor retired, only ever playing for the Seahawks, I'm pretty sure.
Bobby Wagner never played in Dallas.
No. And Dallas now, like Malik Hooker, he was in Indy, but he never went to Seattle. Sean Alexander, I don't think ever went to Dallas.
No, Josh Gordon never played for the Cowboys.
No. Quarterbacks. Geno Smith, no.
Drew Lock, no.
Matt Flynn? I don't think so.
Teddy Bridgewater never played for the... Or Geno Smith never played for the...
Geno Smith never played for Dallas. Teddy Bridgewater played in Dallas, but I don't think he ever played in Seattle, right?
Yeah, I don't know.
Tyrod Taylor, I don't think played in Dallas. Oh, man, this is a tough one.
No, we're right. There'll be
Okay,
something
we got
that
time.
comes up.
We got time. Kickers? Can't think of name. Okay. Who is Russell Wilson's backup? Quarterbacks and stuff. Tavares Jackson. I have a Hail Mary. So at least we have that.
What's your Hail Mary?
Nick Van Ent.
Okay.
He's Ohio State tight end. He was drafted into Seattle, and he's bounced around the league, and for some reason, I can picture him in a Dallas uniform. It's not good. I don't like it, but that's where we're at. Terrell Owens never played in Seattle, right? Don't think so.
Damn.
No. I want to say Jerry Rice, but Jerry Rice never played in Dallas either. Didn't Jerry Rice play here in Seattle? Or am I thinking about him when he was in Oakland? I think I might be thinking when he went to Oakland.
Damn.
Randy Moss, no. Again, didn't he play a season in Seattle?
I don't think so.
I know. Oh, man.
What about No.
I need to focus in on some Dallas people. I've been thinking nothing but Seattle. Okay, Dallas. Well, Jermaine Ifedi is here now. I know he was in Seattle. I don't think he ever went to Dallas. Cam Irving was in Dallas, but I don't think he ever went to Seattle.
Should we just rip the 50 sacks?
Yeah, go Clowney. Again, I can't think of.
I feel like there's a legacy one we're missing, but I don't know. I could be completely wrong.
Not that I can think of.
Does Jadavion have 50 sacks?
I don't know how he doesn't at this point, but.
All right.
Okay. Okay. Marco Murray never went to Seattle. No, Herschel Walker went to Minnesota, didn't he? Yeah.
How confident are you about Nick Van Ent?
Not extremely.
Des Bryant, he didn't play in Seattle, I don't think. I don't think he did.
Are you sure?
I know he played on the Ravens.
Yeah, I remember that.
I don't remember Des Bryant.
I picture Des Bryant instantly in a Seattle Seahawks uniform. I don't know, man. I don't know.
Oh, God, that's the last thing I needed to hear.
That's the last thing we needed right now, but...
You think you remember Des Bryant playing for Seattle?
I don't know, man.
That or Nick Van Ent? What do you want to do?
How much time do we got? 8:57.
All right.
That's 9 minutes.
What do you want to rip?
It's the opposite. I know Nick Van Ent played for Seattle.
Yeah.
And we know Des Bryant played for Dallas. Do you see either one of them on the other side of it?
If I did, I would have put it by now.
I know. Wait a minute. No, Jason Witt never played in Seattle. I picture Des Bryant. I don't know why, but I do.
Really?
Yeah. You don't?
I don't. But
How many years? What were his
10
years?
years. I mean,
I know he went to the Ravens. Go ahead.
yeah.
I blame myself. Go on down.
It's gonna be somebody really embarrassing. Joey Galloway.
I wouldn't have gotten that.
Jeez.
Go click on it.
You're not gonna be able to see it. That's all right though.
Sorry.
Jason Peters. That was your.
Oh yeah.
I mean, Joe Kitna.
Yeah.
I mean, honestly, that's about it. You know, like, I mean, I'll see what the YouTube said if they came up with anybody.
No, and Nick Van Etten would not have worked either.
Oh, somebody did say Joey Galloway.
Joey Galloway. I wouldn't have gotten that. All right, you know where we got to go.
Oh, man. Every Monday.
It's Monday.
It's every single Monday.
It's Monday. Every time. Every time. Every freaking time.
All right, what do you want to start with?
I don't know. We always seem to like do teas or trash or something like that.
Mm-hmm.
You want to start with some of the G? What do you got? Going? It's 2 G's.
I don't want to use 2 G's. What about
Great?
gripes? Or gripe?
Sure. Okay. G. Can you put the music back up? I feel better with the music on.
There's no G.
Oh, I'm sorry. You're right. IP or IE. Sorry.
What about H? H-I... Hikes?
Sure. Because we can use the S. Okay. All right. Okay. So what about?
So it probably starts with an E or an I.
Yeah, try it. Oh, I was gonna say elite, but the I is in the same spot.
Yeah. It's 2 E's as well.
Yeah, but we can find out if it's 2 E's. All right, if we can't come up with something better, do elite, because then at least we'll, flush out some other words. E-O... no. How about something E, like N-E?
N-E?
Yeah, like N-E or M-E. No, that doesn't look right.
What about... No, I's not in the middle. Never mind.
Yeah. F-E... Well, yeah, that's where I would gotta say fail, but we don't need the E in there either.
So I'm try elite.
Yeah, just try to get the word. Yeah, that's fine. Okay, so we got a T now. So the E has to be the second or third, and then I. So why not try?
Oh, we put the I in the same spot.
I know, but it's okay. But still. So go T-E. Something I. I would say the T is either starting it or ending it. It's kind of how I feel on this.
Maybe it ends in IT.
And it doesn't start with an E.
Wait, watch this.
What?
Oh, no, there's no R, damn it.
Why? What were you going to say?
Brexit.
I don't even know what that was. How's that not only 5 letters, too?
Oh, I guess it's not.
It's part of the game, Ryan. Man, we're just tilted today. Something C? C-E?
CTE?
Yeah.
CTESPN?
Yeah, okay. Antonio Brown. C-E-T.
No.
No.
I don't even know how to make words anymore.
Yeah, I know. We need to just get a word here. All right.
We got to go quick. We got to do our giveaway.
I know. We got to do giveaway. We got a lot of stuff we have to do.
What about...
Yeah, W.
Never mind.
We can do wait.
Mm-hmm. Dude, I don't even know.
How about F? E. T.
Yeah,
I know. Yeah. No.
Oh, God.
I think at this point, let's just get a word up with something. Even if the letters aren't in there. You know what I'm saying? Like, Detroit? No, I'm just kidding. Yeah, it'd be nice to have some with an E in the middle so we can at least see where the E goes.
Yeah.
So try... F-E-T-M. Let's just do something. Take the I out of it. I want to do something E-T, because then we'll figure out where the E goes and potentially a spot for the T. So, or yeah, you can do that too. I was thinking like M-E-T. Just do metal. Just do metal, because then that'll get us an A, and then I know L's not a thing, but that's okay. Okay.
So it probably starts T.
It probably starts T. So go T-E.
What about... Oh, well, there's no S, but...
In tennis, like the game is two N's. I don't think that's a word. T-E-N.
I'm miserable.
T-E.
What about...
No, because we know where the E goes.
Oh,
T-E.
I'm a joke.
Dude, I know. T-E. T-E.
We have to move on. Like
I know.
we have to do
I know.
this.
And there's not another E. T-E. T-E. Go. N-E.
What about V-E?
V-E.
What about venti?
Dude.
So the I... Oh, so it starts with an I.
It starts with an I.
I-E, okay.
I-E.
And there's a T somewhere in there. Yeah, wait. Oh, no, the fourth letter could be the I.
Oh, yeah.
Shoot.
I thought... Oh, man.
So, okay, what if it's this?
T.
With the T, it might start with the T. Or
Well, you actually have exit there. So, could you start something? Exit?
Yexit?
Yexit? Begsit?
Oh,
jeez.
Jexit? Wexit? Well, it could start with a T.
Could start with the T. So put the T back there. So put T-E X I
Makes no sense.
I can't. I got nothing. We are in some trouble. Dude, we can't give this up today. Not today. Crap. T-E.
I have no idea.
I know, dude. I'm so tilted right now. T-E-D? D-E-T?
Could be. What if it's T-E-E?
Yeah, but then I got nothing from there. Where do you put the I?
I don't know.
Yeah.
Jeez. We gotta give up. Debit.
Debit?
Debit. Like debit card.
Oh.
We are ass. We are miserable. That was a Cleveland Browns performance.
That was pretty bad.
Oh my god.
All right, you got the website to pick our winner.
What is it
What a
called again?
horrible way to end the show.
That's fitting though.
I can't remember.
What is it? Twitter picker giveaway?
Pick Twitter winner.
Twitter giveaway picker.
Yeah. TwitterPicker.com.
Jeez, man. All right.
Or Simplers, or either one, whichever one. I think we use Simplers. All right, I'll announce our bracket for this week in honor of his birthday. We didn't get the time up. We'll do best Adam Sandler movie.
Yeah,
it's his birthday today. And actually, by the way, he's on the broadcast tonight with Peyton and Eli Manning.
Oh, is he really?
Yeah. It's him, Chris Jones, and Belichick? I think so. Something like that. All right, time for a giveaway, folks. We have a prize package from us here at Big Play. Some T-shirts, some swag. We'll send you a DM. All we need is your address and I think your size of your T-shirt. I think we have XL. It might be what you get sent, but let's see what it is. Ryan is pulling it up.
All right, so I go to step 2 entries. Yeah, we got everyone.
Okay.
Continue.
You want to do it on the screen so people could see?
Yes.
All right.
Jeez, man, what a bad.
I know, what a bad
ending.
way to end the show.
Yes.
That's bad.
All right.
Bad.
All right.
Okay.
All right, guys, begin draw.
Begin draw.
All right, drum roll, please.
Drum roll.
And the winner is Mike Johnson.
All right, congratulations.
Congratulations, Mike.
Mike, we will contact you. We'll verify that he's following the show after. But Mike Johnson, congratulations, man. We will send you your prize pack. That's it. I know today sucks. Oh, Monday Night Football. God bless America.
Picks.
I'm going 49ers.
I am as well.
It's got to be them. How can it not be?
Is it in San Francisco?
Yeah, 4.5. I got it 4.5. It's down to 4, but I got it 4.5.
I'll take the Niners.
Go ahead. Yeah, give me the Niners all day long. We'll get to that later. I appreciate everybody joining us. We're back tomorrow, same time. Follow us Twitter, X, YouTube, Instagram, and Twitch.
By the way,
Matt Fontana Show.
302 votes, 77% say the Browns will miss the playoffs.
That's how we go. How many people thought that before yesterday? Is a great question to that. Back at it tomorrow for 2 for Tuesday and continue the dissection. For Ryan Tyler, I'm Matt Fontana. As always, take it easy.